Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a right-to-work amendment. On February 4th, 2022, President Biden signed an Executive Order 14063. It created a union or labor agreement requirement for large-scale federal construction projects. We all want the best price for the best work, and the best company should receive that work through our federal contracts. This executive order turns that process upside down by requiring participation in a union or labor agreement organization in preparation for large-scale federal construction projects. In a free market economy, Congress and the President should open competition to all bidders to ensure U.S. taxpayers are getting the best price for the highest quality work, regardless of labor status. There's already too much cronyism within the federal government and within contracting. The body must act to eliminate red tape and encourage open competition for federal construction contracts. Prohibiting the DoD from implementing and following this executive order is a step in the right direction. And in our state of Florida, the free state of Florida, we're a right-to-work state. And so sometimes these PLAs drive defense jobs out of right-to-work states. Now, that's not fair. My colleague, Mr. Moulton, said, well, why would we want to take the option off the table for the DoD? Let's keep in mind what the amendment does and what President Biden's executive order does. President Biden's executive order constrains the choices of the DoD on these large projects solely to union shops. We're saying if the union shop wants to compete, that's fine, but in a state like Florida, that's a right-to-work state where there's a lot of manufacturing that hasn't gone union, there ought to be an opportunity to compete as well. So the amendment is what creates more choice for the Department of Defense to be able to meet the needs of the country. And I think that's especially poignant after all of our force posture hearings and after the hearings that we've had with military leadership, where we have seen the impact of supply chain issues. There are already enough problems in the supply chain without us telling the DoD they have to only use union shops for these large-scale projects. So in no way does the amendment limit the choices of DoD. It unlocks more opportunity to be able to meet the needs of the warfighter. I thank my colleague for yielding. I yield back.